Welcome to the PopADew podcast.
PopADew! What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the PopADew podcast. This is episode 5, is that right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Man, they're all just leading into each other. We're having so much fun doing these. They're also very stressful and make us lose sleep, but we're having fun. And we are progressively learning how to make podcasts, I think, in our own way. We're definitely different than anybody else doing podcasts, I feel like.
I think so too, just because of the type of banter we have. And I've been listening to other podcasts more than usual recently just to get like an idea of what other people do. And I think our energy level is really high on these podcasts. So let's keep it high. Let's keep the energy high.
Let's go. Ah! Okay, so people, you're talking about the banner. Like, I still read comments all the time of people saying that I still make fun of you too much. And I don't think people realize how much you make fun of me. It's just behind the scenes. Like, you'll send me stems of me trying to sing really, really high, and it sounds awful. Like the Poppin Cypher, you literally sent me stems of me. He's like, did somebody have their headphones up too loud? I don't like this. Like, just shitting all over my stems that are not meant to be soloed out, but you just did it because that's the type of person you are. That's the banter that you give me so nobody else can see it and make me look like the bad guy.
The funniest thing that I ever did in that regard is when you were doing the Godzilla remix.
I know, dude.
And you did like these high falsettos. Now, no artist is ever going to show you guys their falsetto tracks, especially rappers. But There's a little secret when you're singing on a song. If you put falsettos in the background, so like you're singing higher basically, like almost like a whisper type voice, then you're going to sound really bad solely. Solely? Is that a word?
Solely? We can go with it. I'm down.
Okay.
Making new words. We're like George Bush over here. I
pity the fool. Wait, that's not George Bush.
That's Mr. T. What are you doing? That's not even the same. That's not even the same ballpark of like remotely similar celebrity figures. Like, I don't even know what just happened right there.
I get them confused, man. My bad.
Only Joey can get Mr. T and George Bush confused.
But yeah, it's a trick. If you sing those high notes and put it in the background of your vocals, it'll make you sound better for some weird reason. And it's weird how bad vocals stacked up on top of each other make you sound better. It's really weird. It's
a very strange thing, and I do it all the time, and you hear it more than anybody. I like doing the falsetto stuff. But that one in particular, I know a lot of people have mentioned it when I first dropped the remix. They don't mention it anymore, but when I first dropped it, they just kept noticing the falsetto and pretty much said I ruined the chorus, which, kind of did. But haven't heard anything from that in a while.
Yeah, no, maybe we shouldn't bring it up. Maybe we should leave that corpse in the ground. I mean, it's not really a corpse, but the hook I get. All right, so yeah.
I had to do yet, dude. We are fucking forgetting the main point of why this. What's the name of this podcast?
PopADew.
There we go. Can't believe it, man. Just listen. I've been up for a long time. Joey has too. I think we were both up for whatever different reasons, but we were both up in odd hours. I was doing the Poppin Cypher editing and just losing my mind. I think Joey's probably masturbating. I don't know.
Actually, I
caught you, didn't I?
I was playing Final Fantasy VII the entire night.
Oh my God, here we go. Bringing it full circle.
The entire night. And
did it just remind you whenever we talked about it the other day? It's like, shit, I want to go play some Final Fantasy VII again? Or were you already playing it?
Yeah, I was already playing it. I tried to get my fiance to keep playing it, but she's not really into it. She's more Call of Duty. And which brings me to my next point. I had a dream last night, and it was really weird.
That sounds fun.
I don't remember everything about it, but basically, when you play a video game in your dream, you're usually in the game. I think that's usually how it works for most people.
Yeah.
If you have a dream of you actually sitting there with a controller in your hand, you're weird. But yeah, so it was Call of Duty Warzone, which I haven't played yet. But I know that's like the thing right now. I've been playing Modern Warfare, but with Warzone, and I was with my friends. I was with like my good friend Ty, and we were like on this building, and we were like sitting on the roof, and it was like, so this is Warzone? You just sit here and wait for the people to come, and then you just shoot them? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Then somehow I ended up on some urban setting, like in the streets, and the street somehow became a hallway and like a building. And then Cassidy walked by me, and I was like, yo, are you Cassidy? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yo, respect. But I was like floating away while I was trying to talk to him.
I used to imagine, like, yo, are you Cassidy? Yeah, respect. And you're just like floating down the hall.
That's exactly what happened. And then Funk Flex, like, was there too, and he was like all happy and smiling, and I tried to dap him up. No, he dapped me up, and then he floated away. So I was like, yo, what does this all mean? I need to know. Look, put in the comment section what my dream means and what the hidden meaning is, because I'm curious.
Yeah, everybody on Spotify, put it in the comment section.
You're
Took you till just now to realize that? God, I figured we'd been friends long enough.
Yeah, speaking of friends, we just became Facebook friends forcefully because we had to do this through Facebook.
Yeah, we are trying several different ways to make sure this podcast goes smoothly. We originally started with Skype. The audio was a little fidgety, and it would break up every now and again, but the most important thing is like there was a pretty decent delay on it, so it made editing and conversation a lot harder. Then we went to Discord, because that's what everybody recommended, and that fucking sucked. So we went back to Skype today, and there was a little bit more of a delay, and then we just decided to try Facebook Messenger, and it works. So Joey and I are both Facebook official now. But we're probably going to delete each other as friends as soon as this is over and add each other again every time we need to call each other. Because this is working out pretty well.
Yeah, I think this is really good. There's no delay. We're talking over each other a lot less, I feel like, so far.
So far, I'm eating an oatmeal pie right now, which is probably like one of the worst things to do in a podcast. Because people are probably going to hear me eating. I should probably not do that.
Yo, those are so good. Yo, those and zebra cakes are so fire.
Dude, zebra cakes, I've been eating something, there are strawberry shortcake rolls, and they are fucking, holy shit. That's the only way I can explain that. Holy shit.
When you came down here to record the Tales from the Crypt album, you told me about them, because I asked you ahead of time. I like interviewed you about what kind of food you like, because I wanted to make sure we had everything lined up, good to go. And you were like, these strawberry shortcake rolls, and I was not expecting that. Because you remember you told me you like Twix and Mountain Dew. So I made sure the house was stocked with Twix and Mountain Dew.
You had a fun size, like there was like 90 fun size Twix in this bag, and we just kept eating on it all week long.
I think I ended up eating more than you.
You did. You ate a shit ton of them. They started hurting my teeth because I was eating so many. And you're just like, what's the matter? Were you a fucking pussy? And you just kept eating the Twix that you bought for me because you're a psychopath.
Facts. I want to shout out somebody on Twitter, all right? This is the tweet of the day. I don't know if this is going to become a thing or not.
Tweet of the day?
Reese Lofty, at Lofty Reese, said, if you hate Crypt the rapper, I hate you. Don't hate Crypt, lest it comes out he's actually some sort of maniacal monster who keeps Joey Nato locked underneath the stairs, forcing him to make beats and only giving him warm donuts with a fork. Then you can maybe hate him.
I always love when jokes come full circle like that. Amazing. Shout out to D Lofty. Is that what's his name?
Reese Lofty.
Reese Lofty. Okay, shout out to Reese Lofty. That is very close to what happens, except I keep Joey under my mattress, not under the stairs, and he doesn't eat microwaved donuts. Have you tried that yet, by the way?
No, and I think it's time. I really do think it's time to really just get some glazed donuts. Maybe start with one and just microwave it.
Three. 3 is the perfect number of warmed donuts with a fork in the microwave. Make sure you don't put the fork in the microwave, though. That turns out bad.
Got it. Let me write that down. So there's some truth to that tweet, actually, because when Crypt hit me up not too long ago, this all happened so fast, about the Poppin Challenge Cypher. It's called the Poppin Cypher, where Crypt got the top 13 that KSI chose for the Poppin Challenge, and he rounded them all up and put all the ones that were willing to participate, which was most of them, on this cipher. And I think he hit me up and was like, I forget how he worded it, but he was basically
I think it's
like
somewhere along the lines of like, make a fucking beat for me now or you'll die. It's something.
Yeah.
I threatened you, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was something very similar to that. And then it was kind of just like, okay, well, let's do this. And then it was like, I don't know, but there was just a clear understanding that there was no other way out of this. Like, I had to make the beat for this cipher.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, I guess I'm the guy now. Like, yeah, that's kind of where I realized.
I know personally I've like weeded out all other options besides you. So if you can't do something for me, I know I'm pretty much fucked. Beforehand, I had somebody else that could, mix something for me in a day or two. That it was a backup option if you were not available. But now, if you're not there, then I just don't do something. Because we're a team now, Joe. As much as you don't like that, you and I are together because we're Facebook official now.
Yeah, that's the stamp right there. The Poppin Cypher happened so fast, and I want to shout out the artists, all the artists that were on there. Their turnaround time to get a verse back that quick is not easy, and they all delivered. So I think that was dope. I would love to hear what was on your mind when you came up with this, though, because I know, like, on the outside looking in, it's like, okay, Crypt did this to, show he's appreciative of winning and wanted to give back, basically. But What triggered in your mind to make this be like, to think of this idea? Like, there had to be something that, like, triggered it.
Yeah, so it was, I don't want to say it was my plan from the beginning, but I've had the plan for a little bit. So obviously, we do the ciphers together, and I'm a huge fan of giving back to people and trying to give light to people that, otherwise wouldn't have the light. So I'm a huge fan of showing off people that have never had exposure before or had very minimal exposure and doing it in a big way, like the YouTube ciphers. And we're working on YouTube Cypher 3 right now, so I'm already in the cipher mind state of, how to organize it, how to edit the video and everything, because I'm currently doing that with the third cipher right now. But the Poppin stuff happened in the middle of me editing all this stuff. And I just got bombarded, man, absolutely bombarded with tweets saying that I was too famous to be in this Poppin challenge and that I was already an established rapper and that I was taking away somebody's opportunity to further their own career, which really did not sit well with me because, 800,000 compared to 29 million, whatever his combined total subscriber count is just, it's not even fathomable. Like, I'm still a very small creator and very small artist compared to that. So it's going to do crazy numbers for me. Like, it's going to help my career just as much as it would help anybody else's. But the thing is, like, I do know that I already have somewhat of an established platform and a decent amount of people know who I am. And I did think it was slight unfairness to it that I was in this. I was doing everything I could to make sure my fan base was out of the equation, even though, that probably wasn't the case. I'm sure my fans still went pretty hard voting for me, even though I told them to only vote for me if they thought I won. But, yeah, once I realized I was going to win, I wanted to make sure everybody else in that got the shine that they deserve. Because Leo, first of all, that is the one person I wanted to make sure got a ton of light because he's such a young kid and he did amazing. And that's probably the person I saw the most comment-wise that could have benefited from this the most. And I tend to agree with that in a certain sense because, he wasn't known or anything like that. But that's why I wanted to do this, is to continue to give them more love. I didn't want that to be their one only big shining moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's insane what Leo could do at his age. I want to let people hear what I sounded like at his age. Or if I was even... How old is he? Do we even know?
It's 13.
Yeah, so that's when I just started. And so I sounded nothing remotely close to that. So that's pretty damn impressive. And yeah, I'm glad that you had him kick it off. That was good energy to start off the cipher with him up there.
And that's the thing is, like, I didn't know who I wanted to kick it off. He just had such a good verse and good energy, and I knew he was the correct person to kick it off for me. But, dude, I've only been rapping since I was 22. So, like, the kid has 9 years on me. So this kid, as long as he keeps going, man, unbelievable. He's going to be, especially in the UK scene, because it's a whole different scene over there. And I think he has a lot of potential to make sure he does some good shit over there. So shout out to Leo. But yeah, everybody got me their verse back within 48 hours that I asked. I think people don't realize how quickly this happened either. is, when did I ask people? What is today? The 25th? I think I asked people on the 20th. That's when I had the idea. And that's when I asked Joey to make the beat. And that's when I started hitting everybody up. It's like, hey, I want to do this cypher. I want to make sure you guys get some more attention. Let me know if you're down. And pretty much everybody said yes. King Batch didn't answer. Mia, who was really good, she agreed to do it, but her studio was closed for renovations, and I think partially because of all the stuff that's going on in the world. And she just couldn't get into a studio in time. And I tried ways to make it work, like maybe get her to rap in her iPhone speaker and we can mix it a little bit. But it just didn't work out, unfortunately. But we follow each other on Instagram. I'm sure something will come out of that in the future. She's very, very talented. And let's see, Ollie Dominique was preoccupied and said he wasn't really interested in doing it, but that, you know, he wished the best of luck on the cypher, wanted everybody to kill it, gave his best wishes and everything like that, and then said he and I would do something in the future. So Ollie Dominique's a really fucking good dude, man. I wish he would have been on this because he raps so fucking well, but very good dude. And yeah, everybody got me their stuff back really, really quickly. This was pretty easy to work on from my standpoint. I mean, editing the ciphers are never easy, but there wasn't a headache of sitting around waiting on people for months at a time for a verse or a video or something. Everybody knew the importance of how quickly we needed to get this out because the Poppin stuff is still relatively fresh on everybody's minds, and I knew the quicker we got it out, the better it would be for everybody.
Yeah, and making space in between. For artists, man, making space in between your releases is pretty important, especially for big releases. So having it in between, or having it spaced out from YouTube Cypher 3 was kind of a good move of making sure this was done quick too. Yeah,
exactly. And I think YouTube Cypher 3 was originally supposed to be done today or whenever. We're recording this on Saturday, the day the Poppin Cypher dropped, and that was like the original end date that I had set for this. But I'm still waiting on stuff. And that's the only problem with YouTube Cyphers is it's a lot bigger artists, so everybody is really, really busy and has crazy hectic schedules, so it's hard to get everybody on the same page. But the thing with this, like, everybody's still relatively small in their careers. There were some bigger hard hitters on this, but everybody still, like I said, they knew the importance and knew what this could do for them if they got everything done in time. And I think it's doing very, very well right now.
Yeah, right out the gates. I woke up because, I woke up at whatever time. I woke up right after it dropped, I think. 12 o'clock or whatever, just because like my mental clock woke me up. You know how that is. And then I just, because I was up till like 8:30 or whatever it was in the morning.
Yeah, I remember you sending me a text. You sent me a text the same time that I started to roll over, because I was up waiting all night for Honey Koofies to send me a video. He sent me a video last night, but he wasn't happy with it, and he said he wanted to record the graveyard scene this morning when the sun came up. He said it would be a lot better, and it was a lot better. There was more energy. Everything looked better. So I waited up for him for that video, plugged it in there, got everything smoothed out, uploaded it, ready to premiere, and then I went to sleep at 8:30 or 7:30, whatever time it was. I only got like 2 hours of sleep, set my alarm for 10:30 so I could be up for the premiere to drop at 11 my time. And I watched the premiere for a little bit, saw the feedback I was getting, saw the feedback that they were giving everybody else, watched some reactions, and then I just passed out. I passed out watching reactions. I woke up and it said I'd watched like 7 or 8 reactions, even though I was asleep during all of them. I feel bad.
So that's how, like, that's the thing though. Like, you wake up because you're probably a little concerned. Like, I don't know. I'm always concerned before I release something. Like, is this a good idea? Was this a bad idea? I don't know. And then you get that type of feedback and like people's like just backing you up on what you did. And it's like, okay, this was the right move. Now I could go to sleep when it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, I was slightly worried. I wasn't too worried about it, but I did think there would be some people that thought I was doing this just because I knew it would get me views or something like that. And those kind of people, you guys can go fuck yourself. But I did know it was a good idea, and I knew it was going to help everybody on this. And I was super, super excited for people on this cypher, especially, like I said, especially Leo, to get some more push and hopefully get some more love and some more fans and make a strong push towards his own career, because kid's young and he can move pretty quickly on all this.
Yeah, I mean, he's good at what he does for his age, but not only that, he's taking advantage of opportunities. He took advantage of the Poppin Cypher challenge, or the Poppin challenge, the original Poppin challenge, and now he took advantage of this. He hit you up. He could have said, "Man, I don't need that," or something like that, but no, so he's taking advantage of opportunities. So the work ethic is there so far. And the skill is there, or talent. I should call it talent at his age, but yeah.
Yeah, shout out to everybody on this cypher, dude, because like easily could have been like, no, fuck you. Like, they could have been upset with me that I won and maybe thought I was like trying to do some charity work or some shit like that. They could have easily told me to go fuck myself and not do this. But like I said, everybody was very willing. They got me their stuff back quick. You made the beat quick as shit, even though I said I didn't particularly care for the first one that you made. Sorry.
I do want to talk about that. One thing I do want to talk about first, though, really quick, is I want to revisit the point about like you saying that you kind of felt some way because you had a bigger fan base that you feel like it may have been a little unfair that you won. But I'd completely say avoid that because King Batch was in the competition and he didn't get as many votes. I think people really did vote for who they think had the best verse.
Well, I appreciate that. That helps ease my conscience a little bit, but obviously it's
Don't you agree with that? This is a man with how many million followers and a big fan base, national television. What? You beat him, so.
That's true. I mean, that's true. And that's the thing is, like, I know I did well on my verse, my Poppin verse, but like I personally thought there was others that were better than me in this. So that was it was conflicting things. Like, I'm my own biggest critic, so sometimes I hear shit and it's like, why did I say that? And it is what it is. So I was glad I was one, but I definitely wanted to make sure that everybody else that had a chance to win got some more shine. And that was what this was about. And I wanted to make sure they all got their own love.
The original plan with the beat, if we're going back to the beat now, was to make it similar to the Poppin beat, like have that kind of party-ish vibe a little bit, sort of.
Yeah, we went back and forth for a little bit. I think at one point I told you I wanted you to make something that sounded like Pump It Up by Joe Budden.
Yeah,
like
you
of
did.
All songs. I don't even know why that came into my mind, but I just like the like I just like that sound. I was like, that's a Cypher beat kind of, and I just wanted something, upbeat like that. And then you sent me this, and it felt really dark, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, so you told me at one point you said you were going to use this for a different song altogether, and then you were going to just have me make another beat, and I think I pretty much said no.
You did. You laid the fucking hammer down on me. This is the second time you've done this to me where you knew a beat was so good that you stopped me from being an asshole to you. It's like, fuck you, listen to the beat again. Because you did that with Eulogy, and I remember I didn't like Eulogy the first time I heard it, and then it turned out to be one of the best beats you ever made me. And then this one,
for sure.
Well, this one's different. Like, I like the beat, but I didn't think the vibe fit. I specifically remember saying I didn't think Samad Savage would sound good on it because of the way that he raps. And then he turned out to have arguably my favorite verse on the entire thing.
Yeah, his was insane. Yeah.
So it's just crazy how that shit works, man. And just let you know, Joey, we're going to mark this down, okay? Joey knows best. I apologize for doubting you on this beat.
It goes hand in hand, though, because, I mean, I don't want to get too much into this, but Devil Goes Down to Hip Hop, for example, you had me make pretty big revisions on that beat when I first sent it to you. What's another one? Tales from the Crypt, the intro beat. You denied the first beat that I sent you for that one. But I don't think I really gave kickback on those because I think I kind of agreed. Like, sometimes the beats just kind of click. Sometimes they don't.
Right.
So... yeah, but it's cool. But it's cool. We could edit this and just make it for the part where you said I know best, and then we'll just retitle the podcast. Retitle the podcast. Joey knows best. There we go. I like it.
That was the original name of the podcast that I wanted. Was Nato Knows Best, and then you told me that was not good. So I don't know why you didn't want that. I was trying to give you all the credit in the world.
That'd have been amazing, actually. Missed opportunity.
It's your fault. It's literally your fault.
And now our title is based off an established brand that's well off.
Yeah, we're gonna get sued one day.
Yeah, facts. Can't wait.
Till then, we're gonna keep popping them and also eating oatmeal pies. Do you think we can snag that sponsorship somehow, like oatmeal pies?
I don't know who makes them. It depends.
Little Debbie.
That's a Little Debbie product?
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe you'll have to dress up in a video as Little Debbie.
I'll fucking do it, man. If they can give me a year's worth of oatmeal cream pies, I will dress up as anything they want.
That's really unhealthy. Do you ever microwave an oatmeal cream pie?
No, but now you got my brain rolling.
It might be good. It might actually really be good, but you gotta only do a little bit. Like, you can't really.
Yeah, you
go
don't want
sick
to
with
scorch it.
It'll be milk.
Now I'm like really curious.
You know what? Going back to the Poppin Cypher, what I really like that kind of set the mood. And all right, here's two things I want to mention. This one's a quick point, so I'll just mention it. Gatsby, the second artist, I really like how he printed out the results.
Yeah.
For the cipher, like that really painted a picture for people, and I thought it was just I don't know, and it just brought you to like their world of like looking at the results and getting that chip on their shoulder. And I feel like this is, that's another reason why I think this brought out the great work out of all these artists. So I think the dark beat and like the vibe of the dark beat like captured the emotion of the anger or like the motivation behind the artist, like knowing that, you know, they didn't win, but you know, this isn't the end of what they're trying to do and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it had the chip on my shoulder type vibe. And I feel like that's what made it, like, work really well.
I 100% agree. And the funny thing is, like, this is a weird cipher because there's a hook in it that I did. And
which I didn't like at first.
You did not. And
or which I just didn't like.
I knew you wouldn't. You never like when I do shit, ever. Like, you always have something to say, especially when it comes to me singing. I don't think you've ever complimented me one time or like even said that's a good idea when I sing on something. So,
that is not true.
Give me an example right now.
Chicken rappers in the air.
Ah, God. Okay. Anyway, back to the important shit.
That's from his song Maniac, by the way.
Yeah, right. Plug. So I actually made the hook based around Gatsby's verse because after I heard his verse, I realized he had such a chip on his shoulder. And it was a good vibe to the whole thing. Like you were saying, the dark vibe, everybody was hungry and wanted to prove something. And so the whole hook itself is just me talking about, you know, as I lay me down to sleep, pray to God above that everybody that ever doubted me is going to see what I've become. So just basically, I don't know why I just repeated the hook right there. I was trying to be metaphorical and I ended up repeating the hook.
It's all good.
It's not anything to be explained. It's literally just a chip on the shoulder sort of thing. I'm going to eat this oatmeal cream pie and shut the fuck up.
Samad's version of the hook at the end is insane. Like I have to actually, because I have all the stems of every individual harmony he did, I have to listen to it, man, and study it and look at like how he really layered everything. I realized what he did with the bass. Like you hear that bass coming right in at the end with his vocal. I thought he was singing that low at first, but it's an effect he put on it to make the octave that much lower, and then he probably brought out like the bass sounds in it. But mixing this was it was a quick nightmare, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was hard. Mixing this song was actually pretty hard. Really so many different mics. Yeah, I think it sounds all fluent. Like, it sounds like almost everybody was in the same... That's always the goal, to make it sound like everybody was in the same room recording this thing.
And that's why whenever I do ciphers, I always have people send me their raw vocals, because people tend to get upset when I ask for them, because they like how they sound, but they don't realize that sometimes they even, like, compress the beat, so the beat sounds different on their part than everybody else's part, and then, like, they just don't understand that everything needs to sound fluid. And so if you are ever on a cipher with me, or if you ever do a song with me, I always ask for raw vocals so Joey can mix it beautifully and make us sound cohesive.
Yeah, that's so it's possible that somebody's mix or somebody's like mixed vocals that they had mixed by their engineer or by themselves sound better than what I come up with, but it may not match the rest of the song. And that's just not what we're going for in these ciphers. So
yeah, I think this was one of the rare occasions that we used one of my mixes rather than yours
for the hook, right?
Yeah, the hook.
Yeah,
because you made me sound like a robot.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I did not hear the roboticness at all. But
man, I did not like it at all.
I was at my. This was your sleepless night. Is when you had to edit the video. My sleepless night is when I had to edit the song. But you stayed up too because you had to submit it.
No, so. I was editing the Vin J podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've not slept at all in like 5 days. I've got like a combined 6 hours of sleep in the last 5 days. It's been unreal.
I just realized I have to edit this podcast tonight. Damn.
Ha! Good luck with that one. Speaking of which, if you are an editor out there, we would love to have someone edit these for us, because they are... I'm just going to be real. They're pain in the fucking ass. I hate hearing Joey's voice all the time. I really hate hearing my voice all the time. And editing them sucks. So if you want to make a little bread, like $2.07, hit us up.
What? Crypt is not that cheap, all right? Trust me.
So yeah, KSI acknowledged the cipher, which was dope. I try not to blow him up. He had actually messaged me before, or I messaged him after I won the Poppin Challenge and thanked him, and he congratulated me, said I did well and everything. And then that's around the idea, or around the time that I had the idea to do the cipher. And I tweeted at him once or twice, I think, and he messaged me on Instagram, and it was very complimentary and said that this changed the way that he looked at me, which was dope. It's probably the biggest compliment that I could have gotten.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, and I've done so much growing over the last year and a half, man. Physically and emotionally as well. But you didn't laugh at that, okay?
I agree with it. I don't know. It's
There we go. Yeah, this podcast is all over the place. Let's just shut this off. Let's go to bed.
I know. How did we do a better podcast at 4 a.m? One of our best podcasts were done at 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was a last fucking minute podcast.
Yeah, and we were both dead. And it was funny. But yeah, that was huge, man. Hearing him say to you that it changed his view on you, because when you did the Cypher challenge and he was watching it, I was like, okay, no, yeah. Well, a lot of things happened with you and him recently. So first you reacted to his song, and then he watched your reaction, and then said, "Yo, I know we've had our issues in the past, but I appreciate this, man." So I think that was when things started to turn a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then he saw you in the Cypher challenge, and he was like, he just couldn't deny what he saw or what he heard. So he was kind of just like, all right, you know what? I really don't like you, but I'm going to put you in. And then you won, and then it's like, okay, now you started to gain the respect a little bit, and, you know, his manager, likes you too. So it's like, you know, people are in his ear saying, you know, this guy's not that bad, da-da-da. And then this came out, and this was just a genuine move on your behalf.
Right.
And he was just like, wow. And I don't know, he probably just saw the genius behind the move too. And that's when he said, this changed my viewpoint on you. Like, that's huge. And from what I've seen outside looking in, most people that he works with are genuine good people. Especially Randolph, that dude is so cool.
Dude. That's what I was saying earlier, is I've grown so much over the last year and a half. Because I didn't hate KSI. I always loved him, personality-wise. I always thought he was funny. But, I used to be such a, rap head. And, only wanted to listen to rap that was, bar-heavy and thought-provocative and just, fucking blah-da-da-da, just, rap. And, he didn't make that kind of music. And so when he said he was the best rapper on YouTube, it, pissed me the fuck off. Because that was the mindset that I was in. That the best rapper on YouTube had to be a rapidy-rap sort of guy, and he was not that. And it just put me down a big rabbit hole, man. I started shitting on Randolph for the same reason. I think I shit on Mini Mentor for that, called his name wrong a lot of times. He hates me.
That I know. He did. That I don't know if you're going to change.
Probably not. But it sucks because I was so new to all that stuff, and I watch the side, man. I watch all that shit, and they're all fucking hilarious. And I got off on the wrong foot with him 100%. And I'm definitely willing to own up to that and admit that I was being a fucking cunt and just being a dickhead on the internet. And I've grown so much musically wise, learning to appreciate certain styles of music, the whole mumble rap shitting stuff. I fucking hate that I was ever even in that sort of mindset, because it's just in a different expressive style of music. And, like I said, I don't regret doing it because it's helped me get to where I'm at, but, I've learned from it. So, go fuck yourself.
Wow. All right. That's a great sign off right there. There's a time and place for different types of music. So that's, just got to respect that. And I think that's the box a lot of YouTube or artists, whatever, I'll say it, YouTube rappers are in is they just want the bars and stuff. They just want to hear a reactor say, oh, listen to that bar. Oh, listen to that bar. And like, that's great. You're going to get this reactor to enjoy your stuff and acknowledge a bar, but is it really going to affect people listening to it outside of this scene? Like, what if your music reaches somebody outside of this scene? You know what I mean? Like, they want to hear music. And, yeah, I could definitely tell from when we worked on our album, or when we worked on the Tales from the Crypt album, that you were starting to get in that mode and starting to understand the musicality behind things, especially when you were accepting of that us hook and how that song came about. That was kind of like the turning point.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And that's when I started to learn, because of how good that song turned out and how good a lot of those songs turned out, when I started to get more musically involved and quit worrying about trying to be the best rapper and just trying to make music that lasted and affected people.
Yes. Yes.
So,
make good music.
Thank you for helping me grow, Joseph. This is just a heartfelt podcast. I haven't been an asshole to you yet. Where's your fucking eyebrows, bro? Where the fuck are they at?
Anyways, since we're talking about good music that affects people, I want to talk about this meme that's been going around. It's the Bill Clinton meme where he's sitting on the ground.
What a fucking segue that was. That was a smooth
having headphones on. Yeah.
Man.
And I thought this was cool. Usually I don't jump on this type of stuff. This kind of reminds me of the NWA meme that was going on. When the movie came out and they were like, everybody was like, I'm from, no, is it NWA? Wait, I know what I'm talking about. You don't know me. Straight Outta. That was the meme. Straight Outta Compton. Everybody was making memes saying straight out of their hometown or whatever. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that, a customizable meme.
Okay.
And
that's a pretty long
I have my top
explanation
4.
Of that. Okay.
Yeah, that was stupid. I have my top 4.
Fun fact, real quick before you get into that, because that just kind of reminded me. I have a shirt that says Straight Outta Kentucky, and I wore it on a lot of shows during the tour with Mac Lethal.
Was it the NWA theme?
Yeah, it was literally that shirt. It just said Straight Outta Kentucky instead of Straight Outta Compton.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so you did the state. All right, interesting.
Yeah. So what's your top 4 then? Because I saw that meme going around too, and I didn't even know what it was. Somebody tweeted at me and like had one of my albums in there, and like had an Eminem album in there and a 50 Cent album in there, and I was just like, "What is this?" And then I just see everybody else and their brother do it, so I understand it now.
Yeah. So the album Bill Clinton is holding in mine, and I consider that like the most dear one, like the most important one.
Okay.
Is Cameron, Purple Haze.
Wow.
Cameron was my favorite rapper for a long time. And during the G-Unit Dipset era, I pretty much sided more with Dipset. I mean, I guess you could like both, but I was like really a Dipset fan. Like the way, especially the beats, the beat style really inspired me with the way they sampled their beats and stuff like that. But I just remember like when I was listening to Purple Haze for the first time, it's really weird. Like what people say, what one of my mentors tell me that is really important about music is where the fans are when they hear the music and what's going on in their life when they hear these songs. And that's what's really going to make it like stick with them and make the music mean something to them. And around the time, my great aunt, I believe she passed away, and I was just like, I don't know, it's just something you don't forget. Like I saw her a lot, like I saw her often. So this was like a time where I was like going, I remember being in the car driving to the wake and driving to the funeral and stuff like that, and having Cameron on in my headphones and listening to him and stuff. And I don't know, I guess the emotions at that time like made the two intertwine. And now that album, like if somebody asks me what's your favorite album off instinct, like that's the first one that comes to mind for me. It's pretty interesting.
That's very deep and thought-provocative of you.
Yeah, it's not something I usually talk about, but
man, we're like in our feels this podcast. This is I got
the emotional podcast.
Yeah, I got a little worked up right there just thinking about it. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess
we should have went backwards, but whatever. What's your number one?
It's fine.
Yeah.
My number one. It's hard to think about what my number one would be because I switch up on music taste so often and like what I want to listen to, and I don't want to be the typical like Marshall Mathers LP guy.
Yeah, it's a great album.
But it's like, I mean, that would have to be my Bill Clinton holding album. It would be Marshall Mathers LP, just because the amount of classics that are on there, dude, and the way that changed the dynamic of rap and like Eminem's career completely. Like it's a dope fucking album, man.
Yeah, that album was that album's important to me too. I mean, when I was first starting off, not rapping, but when I first started off listening to music, like rap music, especially because before rap, I was just listening to like pop. Like now, that's what I call music CDs and stuff like that. I had them all.
My mom had them too. Don't worry, she made me listen to Ja Rule all the fucking time.
Yeah, Ja Rule's the best. Yeah. So
wow, don't. Okay, I'm just gonna skip past the fact you just fucking said that.
I don't care what other people think. Ja Rule is dope. He has hits. If it comes on at a party,
listen,
you're gonna be
hits.
singing,
I agree.
"What would I be without you?" You'll be singing right along.
Okay. We gotta make sure No Life Shaq doesn't watch this one. Jesus.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So, do you remember where you were at your point in your life when you heard that album? Like, is there something besides the fact that it just has a bunch of hits that makes it like really stick with you?
Yeah, no, there's not like a specific moment in time where I remember like sitting down and listening to the Marshall Mathers LP because I was still so like young whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have been like 7 or 8, maybe 9 when it came out. So, like I didn't even understand what it was. So I grew up and like heard it years later and heard some of the singles and the classics and stuff, and just it's just one of those like, damn, this guy knows how to put some fucking words together, and these songs are ridiculously crazy, and that's just basically the gist of what it is. There wasn't like a crazy moment like there are with some of the other ones.
Yeah, and Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady, that was on the Slim Shady EP, obviously, right? LP, sorry. That was on the Slim Shady LP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marshall Mathers LP had Stan, which is just insane. God, I could listen to that song all the way through, no problem, and it has 4 verses on it.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest storytelling songs of all time, if not the greatest storytelling song of all time.
That song is incredible.
I think The Way I Am's on that one. What else is on there? Without Me? No, that's on Slim Shady.
No, that's Eminem's show. Without Me's on Eminem's show.
Oh,
yeah.
damn. So I'm getting
which kind of spoiled it because that's one of my albums.
Oh, is it? Okay, we'll just go on to your second album then.
All right, it's not my second album.
Okay,
the second album is the one that's laying on the floor next to Bill Clinton in the meme. And for that one, hold on to your seatbelts for this one. I'm actually going to do a drum roll sound effect right here.
Okay.
Because this one is a doozy.
All right.
Will Smith, Big Willie style.
No, listen. Okay, that's actually not that embarrassing. Like, Will Smith, he won a fucking Grammy for that, didn't he?
I believe so. I don't know. You know what? I don't know why I said believe so, because I have no idea. This is news to me.
I think he won a Grammy for a song. I don't think he won it for the album. But, like, he was, like, the first rap artist to win a Grammy.
Yeah, and he was an actor first, right? He was an actor turned rapper? Or was it the other way around?
It's the other way around.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
See, I did not know this.
I know probably all simultaneous because, like, the first big role I remember Will Smith having was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I remember there being, like, some inside jokes about him rapping on that show, and DJ Jazzy Jeff played jazz on the show. So I'm pretty sure Will Smith had the rap career, and then he got the TV show because of the rap career.
That would make more sense because, like, people flipped out when they saw Jazz come on the screen for the first time. It's like, why is everybody flipping out about this? It's like, okay, they know who he was. Yeah, I think Summertime came out maybe before the show. I don't know. Man.
Summertime.
But, yeah, so this album was... one of the first albums I ever had was Britney Spears. And it was the one where she's like laying in this pink room. She's sitting on the pink room on the ground or something. Crazy was up there, I think. You Drive Me Crazy, that song. I think it's just called Crazy. Anyways,
you can keep moving on.
I traded the album with a neighbor of mine to get the Will Smith album. And when I listened to this album, I was I was little. So I was in camp at the time. And I just remember this is around the time when I started to like girls. Because prior to that, I only liked boys. No, I'm just kidding. No, but this is when I started to like girls. And like Will Smith was talking about girls and stuff in these raps. And I was like looking at these girls in the camp. And I was like tying the two like things together. And like now every time I see these girls that I liked, this soundtrack of Will Smith would like ring with me. And like I would be on the bus going to camp, like listening to it. And it reminded me of the summertime. And it was just, I don't know that. And I'll still play that album now. I'll be like, Alexa, play Will Smith. Yes, y'all. Like the songs on there are just fire. I know Nas helped co-write a little bit.
Yeah, he co-wrote the whole thing, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was just getting jiggy with it, but I don't know.
I know for sure it was getting jiggy with it, which is a fucking great song.
We keep talking about that on this podcast.
It's a classic, okay? Fuck you.
Yeah. But
what else was on there? Was Parents Just Don't Understand? Was that on there too? Or was that before?
Nope, that one's older. It was
older. Okay.
Miami was on there. Men in Black was on there as a bonus song.
Yeah. Wild
Chasing
West, was that on
Forever.
There?
No, Wild Wild West was not on there. Just the Two of Us, that was on there.
That's a fucking different song. I'm thinking of fucking Tupac song.
Candy. It's got a lot of good stuff, man. Obviously,
I got you.
It's one of my favorites.
It's like I said, it's not that embarrassing. I think it's okay.
I don't think it's embarrassing at all.
I think Will Smith doesn't get enough credit for his early rap music, just because he experienced way more success in the film industry. But like he had some fucking good songs, bro. I'm there. I agree with you.
Maybe there is some influence behind him not swearing.
So that's why you don't swear, is you want to be like Will Smith.
No, that's not why at all. The reason why I don't swear in my music is because somebody challenged me when I was in LA. One of my friends that's an actor, he challenged me to expand my vocab by not swearing on songs. And it kind of just stuck with me. And then I got into the YouTube scene and I was like, okay, well, people get demonetized for swearing, so why do it? And then it just, I don't know, just made sense. But anyways, what's your number 2? This is a long segment. This is dope.
Number 2, I would have to say 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Mm-hmm.
When did that come out? Was that like 2004? Was it earlier than that?
I thought it was 2003.
That sounds right.
I feel like Beg for Mercy, G-Unit's Beg for Mercy came out in 2003. But I think they came out the same year because they were on a roll. So
yeah. Dude, when I first heard Many Men, I was like, this is the greatest fucking rap song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Really? Many Men did it for you.
Many Men is an amazing fucking song. What else was on there? Pimp was on there, P-I-M-P?
Bro,
I don't know what you heard about me. God, such a fucking dope song, dude. And The Club obviously was in that, yeah. Like, just crazy fucking classic bangers on that album, dude. Absolutely insane album.
Yeah, that album is amazing, and that actually is in my top 4.
Oh, dude, we are a little more similar than I anticipated.
I
know I've got one that you're not going to have. I
4.
for sure have one that you're not going to have.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But
saying so far, the 2 that I've named are also in your top 4.
Yeah. No. Slim Shady or Marshall Mathers LP isn't in my top 4.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you started that segment saying it was, but it's okay.
Eminem Show is in my top 4. Yes. Wow. Eminem Show is definitely in my top 4. That's when I really got into that. That was I think that was the first Eminem album that I listened to all the way through because my parents did not let me listen to Eminem. They tried to make sure it didn't happen as much as possible. And when the Eminem Show came out, they started to turn the leaf a little bit because he was a little more civilized on that album. So I had more ability to listen to that. And Business is my favorite Eminem song, I think, ever. So
I think you've told me that before.
Yeah, so that's all my albums. We named them all now. So
wait, we did? I thought that was just 3.
No, because remember Purple Haze?
Get Rich or Die Trying was one of the pair.
Yep.
Okay. Well, so my third one is Jay-Z Blueprint.
Oh yeah, you told me this. Told me this.
Yeah. So
which really surprised me. Like I don't look at you as a Jay-Z listener, Kanye production type of guy at all.
Listen, man, what happened is like. Obviously, when this came out, this was 2001. It came out September 11th, 2001, which is fucking crazy.
What? Really?
Blueprint. Yeah, it came out on 9/11, like the morning that the towers fell. Like, it's fucking crazy. Because I remember Mac Lethal telling me about it, which is why I like this album so much, is because Mac is a huge, like, rap nerd and knows so much about rap and hip-hop history. And, like, he was just asking me all these albums and stuff that I had never heard of, and, like, all these artists that were big-time names that I hadn't heard, like, their entire discography, and was just absolutely schooling the shit out of me on all this stuff. And he played Blueprint for me, and I realized, I was like, dude, I fucking love every single song on this. And, like, I know every single song on this. I just didn't realize they were all from the same album. And so, like, every Jay-Z song that I like are all from the same fucking album. It's fucking ridiculous. So, that's why Blueprint is... It's not all the way up there because I didn't get to hear it collectively and wasn't in the moment when it came out, but it is definitely in my that is my number 3, I would say.
Yeah, it's got Renegade up there.
Yeah.
With Eminem. So there's that. Man, as far as hits, I can't remember. I know H to the Izzo's up there.
H to the Izzo. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of good ones on there. Like, it was reminding me of all the songs that were on there whenever Mac was playing it for me.
Girls is on there. Girls.
Like I said, Takeover was on there. Renegade was on there. Was 99
Never
99
Change
Problems,
is one.
I don't think.
Nah, that's a Black Album. That was
Okay.
a way in the future. Yeah.
I get my timelines mixed up sometimes. Forgive me.
Man, what these artists with so many damn songs.
Yeah.
Like in hits, it's like it's hard.
That leads me to my next one. I have a tie for my 4th one. And speaking of artists that have so many songs, my 4th one is All Sixes and Sevens by Tech-9. And this is the one I knew you wouldn't have because I don't even think you listen to Tech-9 at all.
Nah, I don't.
But he has 23 studio albums, I think.
Damn.
And this album had 26 songs on it, or 25 songs. But
wow.
Yeah, but it had a ton of really good songs on there. Worldwide Choppers was on there. That was when it all originated. He's got a song called He's a Mental Giant that's on there. Delusional. He's got a song with Hobson on there. And B.O.B. Like, there was a lot of really, really good songs on there. And it's funny because I have a poster of his Psychology album, and it's not even in my top 5 favorite Take-9 albums. But I love the poster a lot. There's the canvas.
I feel like I missed an opportunity to meet Tech when I lived in LA because I worked literally, like, you could throw a rock from where I worked and you would hit the House of Blues that used to be in LA. They took it down, I believe.
Oh,
or
shit.
They stopped shooting, or they stopped not shooting. They stopped They stopped. Okay, they just stopped.
Man, this podcast sucks.
And I know that Tech-9 was there one night, and sometimes the artists would come over because I worked at a hotel, like a really high-end hotel that had like a dope bar and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I met Mac Miller because of that. Schoolboy Q came through. Man, we could talk about all these different stories in different podcasts because I got a lot of them. But I know Tech-9's tour bus was there, sitting there, and I was like, oh, Tech-9's over there. That must mean Webby's there. Because he was touring with Webby at the time. And I was like, I don't know. Looking back now, I should have just left my job and just went over there and said, like, just saw what was going on. But
bro, everything happens for a reason, man. It does. Dude, speaking of Tech, I actually had a conversation with him the other day.
Really?
Yeah, on Instagram. He saw my Poppin challenge and followed me on Instagram from that. And yeah,
wow.
I sent him. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like, literally, one of my idols saw the Poppin challenge that I did and followed me. Said he loved my hoodie, so I sent him a green hoodie.
Yo, that is... Damn.
Yeah. That is such a huge fucking deal for me. I know Tech Nine's probably not, like, well known to a certain amount of people, but he is, like, the independent god.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Like, he is 100% a legend in rap. Has multiple songs with Eminem. I don't say... No, he doesn't have multiple. He's just got one, I think. He's got Speed 'Em with Eminem.
He's not mainstream, and I think that's by choice, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He's got Speed 'Em with Eminem. Nice. He has a song with Tupac. He's got a song with Kendrick Lamar, which leads into my tied album was Good Kid, Mad City.
You know, I never heard that album front to back.
Oh, really?
I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. I don't. When I listen to Kendrick Lamar, I'm like, I don't know. He just doesn't have the.
Oh man,
this doesn't have what I like.
I would recommend you stop talking, because that is a blasphemous thing to say around these parts. No, I'm just fucking with you. He's not for everybody.
Guess I can't go back to L.A. I guess.
Yeah, you say that out in L.A., you probably get fucking shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 4 or 5 albums, my Bill Clinton albums, I guess is what we're gonna call those. My camera's starting to overheat again. Fuck this podcast.
Damn, that sucks. No, fuck your Sony.
Yeah, fuck my Sony.
Crypt's camera's overheating, so we're gonna wrap up this. Damn, get a Canon, okay? Sony has some good products, but your camera's overheat, okay, Sony? Your camera's overheating. This isn't Papa Sony podcast. This is a PopADew podcast.
It's not a Papa Cannon either, whore.
Our Mountain Dew's dicks. We want to suck on the Mountain Dew until they motherfucking in our motherfucking mouths.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, I'll get a Canon if you never do that again. But that's going to be the end of this podcast, guys. This one, fuck it. We're tired. Fuck it! Until next time, guys, it has been your boy Crypt, and I'm signing out. Go ahead and pop a fucking do. Penis. PopADew!